I would like to welcome everyone to the 2019 annual meeting of the Economic Development Corporation of Wayne County, Indiana. My name is Bob Warner, and I'm the 2019 chair of the Board of Directors. This year marks the 26th anniversary of the creation of the EDC, so we are over a quarter of a century of Wayne County having organized economic development efforts with a professional staff leading the community towards a brighter economic future. To help promote this brighter economic future, at the start of this year, I worked with the staff of the EDC to develop a set of goals that we wanted to accomplish during 2019. I would like to present the 5 goals that were developed and provide updates as to where they stand. The first goal is to finalize the Home in Wayne website. The purpose of the Home in Wayne website is to promote the benefits of living and working in Richmond and the Wayne County area. The website was fully functional in January of this year, so we have already reached our first goal. Our second goal is to work with the Western Wayne Regional Sewer District to develop a solution to the sewage treatment concerns in the Western Wayne Sewer District. Regular meetings are being held, and we believe a solution will be forthcoming within the next few months. Our third goal is to investigate and develop the remaining land within the existing Phase 1 of the Midwest Industrial Park to try to best utilize all of the land owned in that area. The Industrial Park Committee of the EDC is currently meeting with consultants to maximize the available tracts of land and explore the best uses possible. Our fourth goal is to find additional large tracts of land that may be available so that we can have multiple sites of shovel-ready for future business projects. We are exploring available land opportunities and hope to find acceptable land areas by the end of the year. We have set a goal as our fifth goal to update the EDC bylaws and the edit grant application guidelines. To date, we have completed an update of the edit grant guidelines, and we plan to start reviewing the bylaws next month. As you can see, we are moving forward nicely in meeting our goals for the year. Our purpose here today is to celebrate our successes in 2018 and to recognize key partners who have contributed to a year of progress. I would like to start by introducing the Board of Directors and staff. Please stand as I call your name, and please hold your applause until the end. The 2019 board officers, as I said, I'm Bob Warner, the chair, and I was appointed by the Hagerstown Town Council. Our vice president is Sayward Salazar, who was appointed by the mayor of the city of Richmond. Larry Parker is our secretary. He was appointed by the Richmond Common Council. Our treasurer is Randy Templin, who was appointed by the Wayne County Area Chamber of Commerce. Our board members are Chad Bolzer, who was appointed by the Wayne County Area Chamber of Commerce, Tim Frame, who was also appointed by the Wayne County Area Chamber of Commerce, and Tim is our immediate past chair, Roger Golden, who was appointed by the Wayne County Commissioners, Beth Leisure, who was appointed by the Cambridge City Town Council, Kyle Turner, who was appointed by the Centerville Town Council, Susan Yeager, appointed by the Wayne County Commissioners, and Peter Zaleski, who was appointed by the Wayne County Council. The staff includes Valerie Shaffer, the president, Renee Doty, manager of community affairs, Elena Garris, the office manager, and Sarah Mitchell, manager of existing business and education. If you'd give them all a hand, please. We would also like to thank IMPA for sponsoring our luncheon this year. So a big thank you to IMPA. I would now like to have Tim Frame present his year-end review report for 2018.
Thank you, Bob. In 2018, the Economic Development Corporation of Wayne County celebrated its 25th anniversary. That's 25 years of working for the residents, employees, and businesses within Wayne County by promoting economic development and economic success. It was a privilege and an honor to serve as the 2018 board chair for the EDC. The board of directors represents a talented cross-section of local business and civic leaders that are heavily engaged in supporting local economic growth and development. In many ways, the EDC serves as the sales force for Wayne County. Whether the EDC is responding to requests for proposals, seeking out land for future development, providing grants to local businesses for new projects, or promoting education and training, the EDC maintains a critical role for our current and future success. And many of those successes will be described in more detail later in the meeting. As with any successful organization or mission, the key ingredient is people. We are fortunate to have Valerie Shaffer serving as president of the EDC in Wayne County. Valerie's tenure as president has been one of accomplishment, with 2018 being no exception. A talented leader tends to attract other talented people, and the EDC certainly has an exceptional team that work extremely well together in support of the EDC's mission of improving the business environment and increasing employment opportunities. Let's give the staff a round of applause. Whether we are looking at the next year, the next 5 years, or even the next 25 years, the importance of an active and engaged Economic Development Corporation of Wayne County remains critical to the success of our communities. When our EDC is successful, we all win together. Thank you. I'd like to ask Bob to rejoin me at the podium. We'd like to honor and recognize board members that completed their terms in 2018. The EDC of Wayne County is happy to recognize the contributions of 4 outgoing board members, Johnny Barrett, Jeff Jackson, Josh Russell, and Paul Whitty. The EDC is fortunate to have these outstanding board members volunteer their time and effort to improving the economy and quality of life for Wayne County. Their time and talents are appreciated not only by the EDC, but also by the entities they were chosen to represent and the greater community. Johnny Barrett was appointed to the Board of Directors by the Centerville Town Council in 2016 and served a 3-year term. Johnny was an active member of the Marketing and Communication Committee during his time on the board. Is Johnny here today? Jeff Jackson was appointed to the Board of Directors by the Mayor of the City of Richmond in 2015. During his time on the board, he served on the Executive Finance Committee as Treasurer in 2015, Vice Chair in 2016, Chair in 2017, and past Chair in 2018. Jeff was quite active. In 2019, the board reluctantly accepted Jeff's resignation due to business interest. This was Jeff's second time to serve on the board of directors. In total, Jeff spent 11 years serving the community and aiding in countywide economic development efforts. Josh Russell was appointed to the EDC Board of Directors by the Wayne County Council in 2016 and served a 3-year term. During his time on the EDC Board, Josh lent his expertise to the Industrial Park Committee. Josh? Paul Whitty was appointed to the EDC Board of Directors in 2013 by the Wayne County Area Chamber of Commerce. Paul was reappointed to a second term in 2016. While on the board, Paul was a member of the Industrial Park Committee from 2013 to 2016. And in 2014, Paul was elected secretary and became a member of the Executive Finance Committee. In 2015, Paul served as the vice chair and was elected to chair of the board in 2016. He remained on the Executive Finance Committee in 2017 as past chair. Paul?
We would also like to recognize our past chair, Tim Frame, our 2018 chair of the Board of Directors. Many of you know Tim as the president of West End Bank. The EDC is fortunate that the Wayne County Area Chamber of Commerce realized the many talents that Tim would bring to our Board of Directors when they appointed him in 2017. We are extremely grateful for his service and are appreciative of his commitment to the EDC and the community.
You're welcome. Good afternoon. Each year, the EDC recognizes an individual or an organization who has gone above and beyond to strengthen Wayne County's economic development efforts. This year, the EDC recognizes Wayne County Commissioner Ken Poust. Ken was chosen as this year's recipient of the Partnership Award for his unique ability to bring people together to accomplish a common goal. Once Ken gets his hands around a project, it's full speed ahead because he knows his contributions will make a difference. And he also never takes no for an answer, and instead uses no as an opportunity to continue dialogue, to find a compromise in order to bring the project to fruition. Ken is a convener, a collaborator, and a visionary. Over the last few years, Ken has been instrumental in several impactful projects across the county. He created a task force focused on purchasing the former Elder Bierman property, which we did, and now we're working together to find a suitable developer. He helped establish the partnerships needed to find money to build a road to support the growth of the Midwest Industrial Park. He encouraged the partnership with his colleagues at the county, the City of Richmond, and Reed Health to collectively come together to find the funds to tear down the former hospital. And currently, Ken is a member of the working committee focused on finding a solution for additional wastewater capacity in Western Wayne County. What Ken will tell you is that he doesn't do it alone, and it takes a team, which is true. But what others will tell you is if you want to get something done, you bring Ken into the project, and he'll make sure that a solution is found. I sincerely appreciate all of the support that Ken provides to the EDC and the time and talents that he lends to economic development projects in Wayne County. Ken, please come forward and accept our partnership award. In 2018, the EDC had the opportunities to work with 5 companies who were growing in Wayne County. Collectively, these 5 new investment projects represented 377 new job commitments, a total new annual payroll over $13.5 million, an average wage of $17.16 per hour, and total capital investment exceeded $51.4 million. We'd now like to recognize each project from 2018 and ask company representatives to come forward to receive a token of our appreciation. We're thrilled again this year to be able to recognize J.M. Hutton for their continued investment in their Richmond plant. Founded in 1845 as a sawmill, J.M. Hutton is one of Wayne County's oldest manufacturers. Today, the company continues to diversify and now manufactures both wood and metal caskets, as well as deep draw and stamping capabilities, laser cutting and powder coating for several industries, including heavy truck, locomotive, aeronautical, food, and medical industries. In 2018, the company purchased an additional state-of-the-art laser cutting machine for their location at 1501 South 8th Street in Richmond. The $1 million investment allowed the company to increase production capabilities and create 7 new jobs. The EDC was able to assist by facilitating an edit grant in the amount of $10,160. Unfortunately, the owner, Mr. Jeffers, is unable to be with us today, but let's please give J.M. Hutton a round of applause.
Good afternoon. Taconic Biosciences is a life science company providing high-quality lab animals to research companies and educational institutions. They were the first company to locate in the Gateway Industrial Park in 2004, and since then the EDC has been happy to partner with the company on several expansion projects. The most recent expansion included upgrades to 2 animal production buildings and construction of a new quarantine building to house new animals arriving at the facility. Taconic invested a little over $1.2 million and has committed to creating 6 new jobs. The EDC assisted in this expansion by providing an edit grant in the amount of $13,500. Please join me in thanking Taconic Biosciences along with Troy Morrison, Jennifer King, and Dan Stapleton, who are here with us today.
Sugar Creek is a state-of-the-art food processor that purchased an existing building in the Gateway Industrial Park in Cambridge City back in 2012. Since then, Sugar Creek's commitment to Wayne County has continued to grow through the expansion of the facility from the original 78,000 square feet to the 418,000 square foot facility that it is today. Most recently, in 2018, Sugar Creek added new equipment, allowing them to bring on additional food production capabilities. This project resulted in an additional $33 million in capital investment and a commitment of creating another 150 new jobs. Projected employment at Sugar Creek is projected to reach 550 full-time employees by the end of 2020. Please join me in thanking Sugar Creek along with Ron Holbrook, Howard Mintz, Dan Hutchinson, and Fred Ford, who are here with us.
Grace Sales and Engineering is a startup company that decided to plant its roots in Richmond in 2018. This new manufacturer will reclaim compound recycled thermoplastic and rubber materials into a product suitable for sheet extrusion for industrial, agricultural, commercial, and environmental customers. In addition, the company estimates they will remove between 600,000 and 1 million pounds of thermoplastic and rubber from the solid waste stream on an annual basis. This company represents a new investment of $1.1 million and has committed to providing 14 new jobs. The EDC was able to assist by providing the new company with an edit grant in the amount of $41,000. Please join me in thanking Grace Sales and Engineering along with Alan Russell, who is here today.
In 2016, Omen Castings announced that its first U.S. production facility would be located in Richmond. Since then, the company has experienced tremendous success and as a result has already committed to additional growth here. In 2018, they began adding on another 21,000 square feet to their existing 76,000 square foot location at 1600 Rich Road in Richmond. The new space allows the aluminum die casting company to add new production lines. They currently produce aluminum drive lines, steering components, and oil pumps. The company recently invested another $15 million and committed to creating an additional 200 new jobs. The EDC was able to provide an edit grant in the amount of $237,000 to help facilitate this expansion. This growth will bring their total employment to 300 new jobs by the end of 2022. Please join us in thanking Omen USA, as well as Steve O'Brien and Pam Salo here. As many of you know, the EDC has been focused over the last 2 years on talent recruitment and retention. This has really been a drastic shift for us from our traditional role in economic development for many, many years. But it's an extremely important shift if we want to see economic growth in the county. In this robust economy, we are faced with more job openings than qualified people to fill those jobs. This means that we all must work together to recruit individuals and families to relocate here, as well as retain our existing workforce that might be tempted to relocate elsewhere for a position. In the EDC's annual report at each of your seats, you'll see that the EDC has spearheaded many talent recruitment and retention efforts in 2018, but most notably the Home and Wayne campaign and website that was really built out to be a resource for our local employers in their recruitment efforts. And also Hoosier Opportunity, which was created to promote the quality and quantity of jobs that we have available here in the region. Both of these efforts are built around awareness of both the job opportunities and the quality of life here in the county, with the end goal of putting a stop to our population loss that has been in the decline since the 1970s. I was fortunate enough to hear our guest speaker at the East Central Indiana Regional Partnerships Annual Luncheon a few months ago. And I thought that her message was so strong that it would be wise to bring her back here so that all of us can hear from her. Because as we at the EDC start looking to the future of our talent recruitment efforts, we need the resources of all of you in this room to help us and move this campaign forward, help be an advocate for Wayne County so that we can continue on with our talent recruitment efforts. So Sarah Reinecke is an account manager for Development Counselors International, a national leader in marketing places all across the country. She has a knack for storytelling and spent the early part of her career as a newspaper reporter, covering business and city council for the Sioux Falls Argus-Leader, South Dakota's largest newspaper. Sarah joined the marketing firm Development Counselors International in 2013 and swapped her newspaper reporting for helping cities, states, regions, and countries tell their stories to the national media. During the past 6 years, Sarah has led storytelling efforts via national media relations campaigns for more than 24 places around the U.S. and Canada. Sarah has also led website and social media strategies to advance online storytelling efforts for a variety of her clients. Additionally, she's overseen the development of campaigns that specifically target talent and help to position a community's culture and livability to a prospective workforce. Most recently, she has managed the launch of a new brand and talent strategy to our neighbors in Northeast Indiana, aiming to make Fort Wayne and the greater region known to a wider talent audience. She graduated with a Mass Communications and Journalism degree from the University of South Dakota and currently resides in Denver. Please join me in welcoming Sarah to the podium.
Thanks, Valerie, and thanks, everyone. I am so excited to be here with you today. Thank you for having me here in Richmond, and thank you for that very nice opening, Valerie. Wow, and congratulations to all of you. It sounds like you have had quite the year, and so you should be excited about that and be excited about all that is on the horizon for Wayne County and Richmond and all of the communities here. So as Valerie alluded to, I am here today to just talk with you a little bit about boosting your online presence and also about today's importance, how talent attraction is so important to everyone today. So we're going to delve into how you can compete on the national stage when it comes to recruiting talent to fill those jobs. So what we're going to talk about today is setting the scene a little bit. We're going to talk about the important role that talent attraction plays in economic development. And then we'll go into your online presence and how you can build that online presence in order to better reach talent. We're going to share some best practices that we've seen in the places across the country that are marketing to talent correctly and that are really competing in these talent wars. And then I hope that I'll leave you with a couple of small tips on how you can boost Wayne County's online presence when you leave here today. But first, I want to give you a little glimpse into my firm, Development Counselors International. As Valerie said, I've been with the firm for 6 years, and I'm based in our Denver office. So DCI is the leader in marketing places. We have been around for 59 years, and in that time, we've had the opportunity to work with more than 500 places. We've worked with cities and states and regions and countries, large and small. An example of some of our clients range as small as the city of Salinas, California, to the entire country of the Netherlands. And so we're 60 passionate place marketers, and what's been really neat is that we have the opportunity to watch these synergies between the tourism organizations and the economic development organizations. And in today's world, there really has been this shift that Valerie just alluded to, right? There's been a mind shift in what everybody is thinking about, whereas before, 10, 15, 20 years ago, economic developers were marketing only to businesses. They were talking to companies, and tourism organizations were marketing to visitors, right? That made sense at that point in time, but there's been this switch because talent attraction is the name of the game today, and so now this mind shift sort of allows both organizations to really join forces in order to compete. And here's why. I'm sure that these headlines come as no surprise to any of you. We're in a talent crisis here in the United States, and half of the businesses across the country are saying that they can't find the workers that they need to fill their open jobs, and this is a problem. But in order to solve this problem, that's where a lot of you come in. That's where economic development comes in to really join forces with convention and visitors bureaus and tourism organizations in order to switch the message from just telling a business story to telling that talent attraction story. And so in order to do that, you want to tell a quality of life message. You want to talk about your cost of living. You want to talk about how great your destination is. You want to talk about this authentic way of life and this lifestyle that you can find in your destination. We're even hearing from site selectors, right, a really important audience in this, that talent attraction is soon going to become more important than project attraction. That's so important that I'll say that again. They're telling us that talent attraction is soon going to become more important than project attraction, right? And so these economic developers, they're not just asking you, do you have talent? They're also asking, what plans do you have in place to attract talent? Because this is so important. And that's where you can all come in, and that's where you can really boost your online presence and work together to reach that talent audience. So before we dive into all of that, I'd like to take a quick look at some of the research that DCI has conducted, because DCI believes that all great marketing is rooted in research. Often we go out and conduct our own research to find answers to the questions that we're getting in the marketplace, or answers to questions that we're being asked. So these two key pieces of research that I wanted to discuss today are called Talent Wars and Go Fish. Both seek to answer the question to figure out how talent is making job and relocation decisions. Talent Wars focuses on a broad audience. It looks at all working age individuals. And then for Go Fish, we narrowed that audience. We asked the exact same question, so aimed to determine how talent makes job and relocation decisions, but we asked millennials and Generation Z because we wanted to determine how the next generation of workers is answering those is making those decisions. Here's a high-level look at some of what we found when we asked talent what they consider in a new job opportunity. And the reason that I wanted to put this up on the screen is to show the importance that location plays in that job opportunity, right? So think about it. When we all took our last job, we want to know how much we get paid. We want to know how much vacation time we get. We want to know what the work-life balance is, right? All of those are so important in finding a job, but what is right below that is the location of the job opportunity. And what this tells us, what this research tells us, is that we can market to talent because talent is willing to relocate if given the right job opportunity, and that's important. So how is talent finding their jobs? What are their sources? By and large, it's the internet. They're looking at company websites, they're looking at LinkedIn, they're looking at Indeed, and that is how they're finding information on jobs if they're not hearing about it from friends and family. And how do they form their perceptions of locations? The huge factor here is firsthand experience. So talent is visiting these locations firsthand, right? I'm sure everybody here in this audience has visited a place, fallen in love with it, and thought, hey, maybe I could live there. That's exactly what talent's doing. If they're not visiting it firsthand, then they're talking to their confidants. They're talking to friends and family, and they're learning about locations through word of mouth. And if they're not forming their perceptions of locations via one of those two methods, then they're finding it on the internet, right? If they're not taking their own picture and posting it to their Instagram account from their firsthand perspective, they're probably looking on Instagram at what their friends are posting or what other people are posting online, and they're doing internet research to learn about places. So what does this all boil down to? We have just heard that talent makes their location decisions and makes their job decisions via internet research. And so this means that if you market the correct way digitally, you have the opportunity to reach this massive global and national audience with your message, which is so important. Before we dive into some best practices in digital marketing, though, I wanted to share a fun example of how Vermont took that firsthand experience tidbit, took the fact that visitors can play such an important role in becoming talent. They really took advantage of that, and they created this amazing program called Stay to Stay. So the reason that Vermont created Stay to Stay is because they're a small state. They wanted to turn visitors into residents, and this is possible, right? Because Vermont has something like 13 million visitors that come there every single year, and they had heard from residents and business owners alike that people were visiting Vermont first and then falling in love with everything that it had to offer. They were then choosing to move to Vermont to get a job or start their business. So the tourism organization decided to partner up with the economic development organization. They thought, all right, how do we take advantage of all of these visitors who are already coming here? So they collaborated. And what they did is they created these weekend events, these weekend networking events for people to come into the state. So they put them up in hotels and they showed them the awesome lifestyle and the cool things to do in Vermont. But more than that, they hooked them up with employers. They hooked them up with job opportunities. They hooked them up with realtors because they wanted to show these visitors what life in Vermont could actually be like and try to turn these visitors into residents. So of course, we wanted to talk to the Department of Tourism to find out, look, you're a small state, so you have a small marketing budget. Why did you decide to invest your dollars in this talent attraction campaign when you could have just done a normal travel marketing campaign like tourism agencies normally do? And we learned from the Director of Tourism that talent attraction was the state's #1 priority. Hands down. And so given that talent attraction was the state's #1 priority and the answer to their economic woes, the state tourism agency wanted to help with that, and that became their mission. Second of all, if no residents moved here, if no visitors, moved to Vermont as a result of this program, the tourism agency was still putting heads in beds. And that, after all, is the tourism department's mission. And last, they wanted to simply raise awareness of Vermont as a place to live and work and do business. And let me tell you, this program worked. This program generated so much national awareness. It garnered headlines across national publications all across the country. And what's more than that, this program incentivized action. This program generated something like more than 1,000 inquiries after this program launched, which is huge. And to showcase that this is a win-win for both organizations, here's a look at the spike that both the tourism website and the economic development website saw after this program launched. These are not small numbers, and this really goes to show that in today's world, this mind shift where economic development and tourism don't have to work in silos anymore. It's like they've been speaking different languages for so many years, but now they can come together and create programs like this to really be a win for everybody that ultimately boosts talent attraction to the region. With that, like I promised, I wanted to get a little bit into digital conversations as well and how you talk to talent online and how you boost your game so that you can market to that national and global talent base, because like we just heard a little while ago, talent is going to the internet for searching for jobs and forming location decisions. So how do you get your voice heard online, and how do you set yourself apart in these global talent wars? First things first is touting your jobs. We hear time and time again from talent that jobs come first and location comes second. So the most important thing you can do is tout your jobs and connect them with resources. More than that, talent doesn't just want to see a job as a means to an end, right? Talent wants to have meaningful work. Talent wants to know how they can grow in their career. Talent wants to see what they can do with the money that they earn in the region. So show them that their dollar stretches further in your region. An example of this that I wanted to point out that you all have alluded to a lot today, that Valerie and Bob have talked about, is the Home and Wayne campaign, which is an amazing starting point for this to really showcase to talent what Wayne County offers. I even saw in the annual brochure that's there for all of you that Wayne County partners to get those rankings on affordability, and there's some great numbers in the middle of that that showcase that Wayne County is a lot cheaper than other metros across the country. This cost of living calculator is a great example of that, and this cost of living calculator allows users to engage with what's on the website. It doesn't just say, hey, we have jobs, come here, right? Because every place has jobs. You need to take it a step further, and you need to showcase that we have jobs here, these are the jobs you can get, and this is what your dollar can be spent on in Wayne County. So more than that, this job board is also an excellent opportunity for talent because it connects them directly with the jobs available. It shows them what's available. Again, you can't just spew facts and say, we have jobs, come here. You have to show them. So this is great. The other important thing here is establishing a sense of place. I'm sure that we've all heard the term that a picture is worth 1,000 words. And this statement cannot be more true than it is when it comes to digital marketing. So think about that. Be visual. Could you use stock imagery? Sure, but every place can use stock imagery. So work together and collaborate to build this image bank, to create these images that actually showcase what your destination's like. And in order to do that, you want to showcase your local residents. You want to tout your local companies. You want to get an inside scoop so that talent can see what's sort of behind the curtain, if you will, what goes on inside of these amazing manufacturing companies that were just awarded this. Get behind those doors and get on the inside to showcase the people and the companies and what makes the region tick. An example of a place that does this well is Northern Colorado. Northern Colorado had this perception. They learned that people thought Northern Colorado was located on the plains, that it was boring, that it was flat, that there was nothing to do there. And Northern Colorado encompasses Fort Collins and several other cities, and they're practically a stone's throw from the mountains, from rafting, from hiking, from rivers, from all of this stuff. They are not on the plains at all. And so when they launched their new website, they sought to showcase that with visual imagery. So their website is chock full of images that showcase all of the communities, all of the livability assets, all of the companies, everything. It's even small examples here so that if you think about it, could you just say that, great, we have outdoor adventure, that's cool, and leave it at that? Of course. Could you show a picture of a stream or a fish? Absolutely. But they took it one step further to show an actual woman out fly fishing. And that's really important because it gives talent a look into what they could actually do if they lived there. In addition, they did the same thing for companies, but they also added the company logos because you want to incentivize brand awareness for talent. You want talent to be able to see that, oh, I'm familiar with OtterBox. Wait, I know that logo. They're located in Northern Colorado. I could get a job there. Keyword job, because we just learned that jobs are so important to talent. What's more than that, this advanced manufacturing page on their website could just have a boring old building mugshot, right? Easy to do. They probably had that image, but they took it one step further and they went and they took a picture of somebody working in a manufacturing facility so that talent could picture themselves working there. Just like firsthand experiences are so important to talent, firsthand accounts and testimonials are crucial in this talent attraction game. You want to include testimonials. You want to create a point of contact. You want to go so far as to potentially even create an ambassador for this talent to meet, to look at, because that's what talent wants in today's world. They want to feel connected to the place. They want to get all the inside scoop. They want to figure out, where's the best microbrewery? Where can they get a beer after work? Where is the best place to go get dinner on a Saturday night? They want to know all of these things that you have to tell them that, and you have to connect them so that they feel connected, so that they can feel a part of the community, whether it's for business or for personal. So an example of this is Cleveland County, North Carolina. They recently launched a website for their manufacturing industry. And the great thing about this website is that they really took their talent testimonials to the next level. They went out and found about a half a dozen residents in the community that worked in the manufacturing sector, and the Economic Development Organization really went to great lengths to go out and take photos of these people working. They, again, wanted that inside scoop on what that person does in the industry. They have great photos accompanied by long stories on the internet to show why these people work in manufacturing. And again, that the job isn't just a means to an end, because talent wants that meaningful work, and they want to learn about why other people have chosen to go into the manufacturing career that they did in Cleveland County. Next, I want to talk to you about probably one of my favorite tools and what I think is becoming one of the most important things that we can do, and that is to create this toolbox for HR executives. So just like we talked about how economic developers are shifting their mindset and how we can't just market to businesses anymore, we have to market to talent. Well, that's where you really come in as economic developers to help your partners, your employers, and your HR executives to really sell the location. Because think about it. HR executives, they're trained to sell the job. They're not trained to sell the location. So they know all the ins and outs about the job that they offer, but they don't know the details about the location, about what makes the location authentic and what is cool to do in the location and what makes it the most livable community or an affordable community. So it's up to economic developers and people in the community to really build what the story is of the region. You want to share brand assets. You want to share those images that we talked about that are so important, and really arm these employers and these HR executives with everything that they need to do to share that with talent, because talent will only take the job if the location is right. Northeast Indiana is an example of a place that does this well. As Valerie mentioned, some of you might be familiar with Northeast Indiana's brand launch. They launched the Make It Your Own talent attraction brand on Valentine's Day of this year. So to accompany that brand, they created all of this key messaging that essentially serves as Northeast Indiana's elevator speech. It's a way for stakeholders and employers and people who reside in Northeast Indiana to talk to others about the region. It's sort of the key selling points of the region. And so what Northeast Indiana did was they created this handy little pocket guide that's probably, no bigger than something that fits in your back pocket, and it's colorful and it's got all of those key messages in it. And what they did is they distributed it to all of their employers, to all of their stakeholders, to help people tell the story of what it's like to live in Northeast Indiana and work and play. And it provides all of those elements to tee people up with what they need to tell talent who are considering the region. They didn't stop there, though. They made all of these assets available on their website. It's super easy to find, and it's part of the whole branding initiative. So you can see you can very easily download that pocket guide to have all of that information at your fingertips, as well as videos and other brand assets. And then there's a whole list of resources for employers that employers can so easily go to this website and be teed up with everything that they need to know as they're out talking to talent, whether they have somebody come in for an interview, or maybe they're out on the road at, a trade show and they're talking to talent. This is the story of Northeast Indiana, and it puts it right at employers' fingertips. I know we've touched base on a lot here, and I hope that some of these tips have been helpful. I'd like to leave you with 5 key takeaways on as you think about boosting Wayne County's presence online and really taking your talent attraction marketing capabilities to the next level. These are the 5 key things that you should keep in mind. So first, make sure that you're funneling users down the right path. Think about it like the front door to your house. If you invite somebody over to your house, you want your front door, your front stoop to be sort of clean and tidy and welcoming. But then when you invite people in, you probably need to tell them where to go. If you're having a dinner party, you want to show them to the dining room, right? If it's nice out and this rain stops, you'll have them over for a backyard barbecue, and you want to show them to the sliding glass door, maybe to the patio, get them an iced tea, and a deck chair, right? So think of your website as that same thing. If you have an HR director coming to your website to find that toolkit we just talked about, you want to make sure that it's clear and front and center where they need to go for that. If you have talent coming to your website to look for jobs, to find that jobs board, you need a very clear button. Maybe it even says, looking for a job, click here, right? You want to funnel users down the right path with all of that key information. Next, make sure that you're engaging with talent and providing value. So what do we mean by that? Just like that cost of living calculator, you want to provide an experience with people on your website. This allows them to really engage, it allows them to have an experience, and it provides them valuable information. And so the chances are they might come back to your website to learn more because this has been of value to them. Don't forget to celebrate your location. This means telling that story, owning that sense of place, collaborating with all of you together to showcase your residents and your businesses and the people that make this place tick. Celebrate who Wayne County is and share that. Fourth, and this one's important, add that personal element. So online can be kind of scary sometimes because you sort of think you're behind this curtain of the internet, and that can be scary. But what you have to keep in mind is that even though you're marketing on the internet, it still is human-to-human interaction. So talk to talent as if you're talking to the person at your table next to you this afternoon. have a human voice, have a human element, and work together to figure out what Wayne County's persona is and tell that story like you're talking to your neighbor or your seatmate. And last, invest. Like all good things, it takes time, it takes money, and it takes work to build this sort of talent attraction strategy, but I'm telling you that investing digitally and in a talent attraction strategy, you're going to be loads ahead, so far ahead, and it's just so important to invest because this is what's going to allow you to compete in the war for talent and hopefully to win. So thank you all so much for your time. I appreciate you all having me here today, and I hope this has been helpful here for you. Thank you.
Sarah, thank you very much for providing us with some new ideas about raising awareness in the talent recruitment arena. We appreciate that very much. I would like to thank everyone on the 2019 Board of Directors and the staff of the EDC for the excellent job that they are doing. It's easy to see that we will have outstanding leadership for our economic development for years to come. Something for all of you, the arrangements, the flower arrangements on the tables, there is a yellow Post-it note under one chair at each table, and the person who's sitting in that chair gets to take home those arrangements for today. So those are yours to take. I would again like to thank IMPA for sponsoring this event. We are very pleased with the turnout here at the 2019 annual meeting, and I would like to thank everyone for attending. We hope to see all of you here next year. Thank you.